Hello everyone, thank you for joining the webinar. My name is Uri Shai, I'm from EnsureDR. Continue our meeting at the Zerto conference. Today in this webinar we will detail EnsureDR's values for Zerto. We will start with Rob Strachey from Zerto. Rob is the VP of the product and one of the best DR expertise in the market. Rob will cover the value from Zerto's point of view. Then I will present you an overview of the solution. After that, Erez, our CTO, will do a live demo to show the GUI of EnsureDR and the way the software works.
Thank you. So, Zerto, Rob Strachey. I am the VP of Product for Zerto. Zerto really has a vision of a world of uninterrupted technology for people in business. And this is really talking about how we do data protection and really IT resiliency beyond the normal level of DR that customers have been getting. Myself, I've been a DR practitioner where I ran storage and DR for a Fortune 500 insurance company here in the States. And really what I found throughout the entire, place that we were going is that what I really lacked was something that was a simple, scalable, agnostic way to be able to protect my data and my applications. A lot of times it was really one of the most difficult parts was spending hours and hours or days and days trying to test and understand if I was successful in testing my system. So what Zerto does is we've built a platform for doing IT resiliency where we're able to help customers protect their data at very low recovery point objectives. And why is that important? Well, I think it's really telling when the latest Gartner VCM survey came out that 94% of CIOs really did not expect that they could meet their recovery point objectives or their recovery time objectives. This is very telling in the fact that you have a big problem when you can't meet these expectations. In an uninterrupted world, as we get more connected and more connected, RPO, or recovery point objective, has become significantly smaller. And so what we've seen is that customers are really looking to minimize that downtime. So say an incident takes place, you can go and look at, based on a revenue, $1 billion revenue impact, 24 hours versus 24 hours could have an impact of $8 million or over $8 million US dollars. A 4-hour recovery point objective or 4-hour recovery time objective could have an impact of 1.3 million US dollars. With Zerto, based on that same $1 billion revenue impact, and you look at per day, and you look at what's going on over the course of an hour, we can get your recovery point objective down as low as seconds. In this case, we use a conservative 20 seconds. And the recovery time objective, how fast you get back, would be minimized down to 15 minutes. So $51,000 in lost productivity or lost sales. Again, this helps you basically rewind and recover any point in time. So this has been very useful. A lot of our customers have been utilizing this for various different reasons, be it natural disasters or man-made disasters. In fact, we've had a number of customers utilizing kind of this rewind and recover aspect of our product to recover from the WannaCry and ransomware that has been rampant over the last few months here. So again, why is this important? Well, there's also the concept that people are really going out and building enterprise strategies that include hybrid cloud. Over 70% will use a hybrid cloud by the end of 2019. Why is that important, and how does the Zerto platform really empower you to do hybrid clouds? One of the things is, again, being that agnostic. We're agnostic. Even though we work at a hypervisor layer, we talk to VMware, we talk to your Hyper-V, we can talk to multiple different clouds. So what does that enable? It enables our customers to have various strategies on hybrid cloud. Maybe they start with a private cloud, site to site. Maybe then they move into a VMware vSphere, taking their VMware vSphere and up to a Zerto-powered cloud service provider or managed service provider. And then you have also our other cloud connectors where you could use hybrid cloud between on-prem and one of our public cloud connectors, be it Azure or Amazon. Either way, you really have the ability to do truly multi-cloud, hybrid cloud with ease and have a stepping stone into that hybrid cloud strategy. And why is this important, or how has the underlying platform that Zerto has become really become important, is one of the features that we offer is one-to-many. So by protecting thousands of VMs on site with a scale-out, simple architecture that is extremely scalable, you're able to then deploy those protection VMs out, what we call our virtual replication appliances, very easily. That allows a VM level one-to-many with an RPO of seconds. And why is this important? Because we can actually go out to multiple sites. True hybrid cloud and true DR is not going to be a I do from point to point. It's going to be I have to have defense in layers. Like they say about security in layers, you have to have DR in layers. And you need to be able to go through and test this in a automated fashion. So what we've done is built a platform that is API driven that allows you to then utilize things such as blob storage or S3 or one of our powered managed service providers within the Zerto ecosystem. And why is this important? Because it allows you to have multiple different SLAs and different retention rates, as well as leveraging the cost structures of on-prem and those managed service providers and cloud providers to allow you to get a level of efficiency that is important. Also, it's about being connected. So I think that one of the things that we've found is that across the world and across different time zones, people want to be able to be connected and understand what's going on at any point in time. Again, when we say that 94% of CIOs and business continuity managers don't think they can meet their RPOs, part of it is knowing that you've had a disaster and then knowing how fast you can get back. So what we're doing is by leveraging our partner network, including Azure and Amazon, as well as the cloud service providers, managed service providers around the world, we are able to give people geographic diversity while also having data sovereignty and being able to meet up with that. So being able to know that wherever you are and wherever you want to be, we have that for you. Zerto's been around for a while. We are really the right technology at the right time. We have over 4,000 customers in 52 different countries, 300 clouds plus, and we have over 100% year-over-year growth. It's really been a proven solution utilized by some of the largest companies in the world. And what we've been able to do is help customers join up with partners to get a better level of resiliency. And as I kind of said earlier, what we've done is designed this as a platform so that we can work with folks like EnsureDR to provide ways that customers can enhance their experience, be this as a managed service provider providing it to their customers, or be it the end user customer who wants to understand and automate as much as possible. Even though we talk about having some of the largest customers, largest companies in the world being customers, we also have a lot of customers who have very small IT organizations. And what is really important to them is being able to automate what they're doing and do it in a repeatable manner. And a lot of them can't even hire all the expertise they need. So having a product like EnsureDR built on top of Zerto to help give you that IT excellence and that confidence with business continuity and disaster recovery that, yes, I will be able to recover, because that is the difference between being that 6% that are confident and being that 94% who are unconfident. And I think it's taking those steps, leveraging best of breed products, and looking for people who are actually collaborating to make your experience better. And with that, I thank you.
Thank you very much, Rob. That was very interesting. For the past 7 years, we have operated as DR experts, and along the way, we noticed that customers who had disaster found that 30% of their servers were defective at the recovery site. Currently, businesses that have DR plan don't know if the recovery site will really work when they need it. The reason is the complexity of the primary site. It's a live organism and dynamic environment. In case of disaster, you don't want to deal with problems at the recovery time. That will put the business at risk. Currently, there are no tools to guarantee that the recovery site will really work. So it was discovered that the relations between tests and the ability to recover is direct. The more you have tested the DR, the better your chances to recover. Meaning businesses need a frequent and thorough automatic DR tests. That's the reason why 3 years ago we started to develop EnsureDR. EnsureDR tests your recovery site monthly, fully automated. It identifies weaknesses in the DR plan prior to an actual disaster situation, so you don't have to deal with difficulties at disaster time. EnsureDR's mission at the bottom line is to guarantee that recovery really works. Among the concerns about DR, the assurance to recover is the most important one. EnsureDR tests your server, it tests your services, network, and enable you to create a customized personal tests. For every different customer has his own option to make a script for his own interests. Manual yearly DR tests we're all familiar with, but the result of them is an endless list of corrections to be made. On top of the hassle, it's time consuming, and moreover, a yearly test is far from being enough. That means that during that time gap, your business is at risk. When you use EnsureDR, there is no endless list of corrections to be made, and EnsureDR tests your recovery site every month. For your site, EnsureDR obviates the need to manually test hundreds of servers, and EnsureDR expertise is to increase your assurance to recover to the maximum and maintain your peace of mind. Well, by focusing on the ability to recover only, EnsureDR have developed expertise to identify errors and problems at the recovery site. EnsureDR checks automatically every month whether all OS have started and not defective. It verifies that application services are running. It makes sure the DR scenario works, and it tests the failover procedure. At the end of the test, it sends you a detailed test report for every server. EnsureDR checks your recovery site much deeper and much wider, and that increases your assurance to recover to the maximum. Here is one of our customers by the name 888 Holdings. Some know him by Random Logic. He's the biggest gambling company in the world. And here is an example of what he says, that EnsureDR is paramount to the DR plan. That's a great, I think, great sentence for us, because EnsureDR really increases business satisfaction. It empowers you to expand the DR usage with confidence. On top of the need to test thousands of servers, our values for partners is by enabling you to create different tests for each group of servers. With EnsureDR, you enjoy a peace of mind and leave no place for unpleasant surprises. Finally, among the concerns about DR, the assurance to recovery is the most important one for businesses. And I guarantee that recovery works. EnsureDR is a unique value for your customers that already have a kind of DR services or DR as a service. Well, in an often changing environment, EnsureDR represents the new intelligent automation of DR test, which gives a unique value to our partners, customers that use DR services. Here is the biggest service provider in the Middle East about the value of obviate the need to test thousands of servers. That's a great value. That's one of our, let's say, best ISPs. Here you can see the report we send by email every month. I will show you a live report. Here is a report for Zerto, for server of Zerto. You can see at the upper side of the report that it's a summary of your RTO, how much servers were okay out of all of them. It shows you the time of the RTO, of course. Here you get to see also a summary of the checks, the power, the network, the service, and the custom script that you can request. And of course, you can see a print screen of the server to see that it's work. You can see the details for every server. And when a customer get blue screens, then you see the blue screen at the report. Of course, the report is you get it by email every month or every week as you choose. So compare our test capabilities with, let's say, standard tests that customers do today. Well, the current tests, broadly speaking, are very limited. And EnsureDR checks the recovery site much deeper and much wider. Here you can see part of the differences. And by focusing on the ability to recover only, we have developed expertise to identify errors and problems at the recovery site. You can see this table in our website and you can download it. Tomorrow we will upload the resources, the full table of all the capabilities. As we discussed, the current test all vendors offer is very limited. That's the reason they ask us for a connector. Our alliances allow for expanding joint market reach and gaining greater awareness for our joint solutions. Of course, the main product we focus and we promote is Zerto. We think it's gonna be the best product for the DR service, and they have a lot of leverage for the environment of the awareness that you can recover. As you can see in this diagram, EnsureDR run on top of Zerto in the recovery site. The automatic tests run in a bubble network and float any issues that wasn't visible while the replication running. In a few minutes, Erez will show you a demo and we'll elaborate on that. Here are a few benefits for Zerto or for VMware SRM. We have covered most of them in the last slide. So, about pricing for customers, you can buy only through partners. We will be happy that you get the right resellers. If you want to buy from someone specific, just send us an email and we will be very happy to help you with that. We are doing also a promotion. I will get to that after Erez will show you the demo. Broadly speaking, we will offer 50% discount. It's going to be valid until the end of June. Okay, Erez, I'm forwarded to you.
Okay, First of all, thank you very much, Rob, for your presentation, and thank you, Uri. My name is Erez Paz, and I'm CTO at EnsureDR. I'm actually the guy that's responsible for the development and R&D for the product. So in the past, as Uri said, in the past 3 years, we have been in a lot of customers and asked them questions about what they need in DR scenarios, and everybody told us that all the product out there that give a lot of great values are focused on RPO, and none of them are focused on the RTO. So everybody wants to replicate, but what happened after the replication, that is a little bit more problematic. And as Uri mentioned, the ability to recover is the main issue when a customer or a company want to go to the DR site. So as Uri showed you in the last presentation, there is 2 parts for DR. There is the production side on the customer side, and there is the DR side where the replication replicate all the data, all the servers mainly, especially Windows and Linux, to the DR side. Now, EnsureDR is actually a virtual appliance. It's a software that sits on a VM Windows machine on the DR side, and he runs the operation, the whole workflow of the automatic test. So if we look inside the diagram of Zerto, we can see that Zerto is actually a mechanism of real-time replication of virtual environment, such as VMware or Hyper-V. It replicates host space with virtual appliance that calls ZVM. So you actually got on the source side a VM called ZVM that replicate to the target side. And on this target side, EnsureDR is implemented basically on 2 VMs. The first one is the EnsureDR server. EnsureDR server is actually the console and the engine that run the workflow, the automation workflow of the test. And we got another server that called EnsureDR controller server that actually is the gateway between the engine itself to the bubble network. So what EnsureDR does, it runs a job in a scheduled manner that create a bubble network, tell Zerto to fail over some sort of VPGs that you can select up front. It will fail over the machines to the bubble network. Then it will start a series of tests. The first test will be the power on test. We will check that every server that should power on did. Then we will check networking. The third test is application services, like if you got Exchange server, we'll check the information store. If you got SQL server, if you got Oracle or any other application, we'll check the services of the application. And the final test is a custom script that you can run. It can be basically any script like a batch file, PowerShell file, or just a WMI query. So we not only running the script, we also check the result of the script, and then after every test will finish, we will generate and create a report, clean up the environment, and send the report to the customer. So this basically automatic test can be run anytime, in the middle of the night, in the weekend, and you can actually even run it every day. So what I want to show you right now is a demo. So we actually got 2 environments, VMware source and VMware target. From the VMware source, we are replicating a few machines. We can see it here in the Zerto console, Linux, Windows 2K12R2. So they are replicating with VPG1 and VPG2 from this source server to this target server. Let's start EnsureDR. So the first thing that you can see in EnsureDR is the list of jobs that EnsureDR present that are in this current EnsureDR server. You can create a job if you want to test different kind of environments. If you got different environment to test, or you got different customer that you want to test, or you got different product that you want to test, replication product, because the EnsureDR support few. So over here we're gonna choose Zerto for VMware, and we'll press OK. Now EnsureDR will load all the components for this specific job. It also will query the Zerto ZVM environment for all of its information, such as the list of VPGs, the list of servers inside the VPGs, and we'll use them in this specific job. For example, if you got an environment that is not on-premise, you're replicating between sites, and in the other site you got a different segment, so you're actually changing the IP when you fail over to the DR site. Now, Zerto can do that. It can change your IP addresses for your VMs. So in order for EnsureDR to work correctly, you need to know what is the source IP and what is the target IP. Now in the first screen of EnsureDR, you're going to configure the basic configuration of the job. Over here you can choose which kind of DR software you are using. So you can choose Zerto for VMware or Zerto for Hyper-V. VMware, we are actually referring to the target side. What Zerto, what environment Zerto working on the target side, if it's VMware or Hyper-V. The second thing that you're going to choose is the RTO. EnsureDR will run and also check the time that it took to finish the test and compare it to the value that you put over here. Next, we're going to put the user and password that we're going to use, EnsureDR going to use to do all the tests internally. So basically, it's going to be the administrator if you are in a workgroup, or the domain admin if you are in a domain environment. Next, we're going to put the VC user and password of the target VC on the DR side. We're going to write what is the target VC, IP or name, the target Zerto VM, IP or name, and next thing is gonna choose more advanced settings of Zerto. So first of all, it's mandatory to write the Zerto target. You can choose if you want to write the Zerto source or VC production. It mainly concern if your environment is on-premise or layer 2, where you got connection between the source and target side, or this is environment of ZCM and ZCC. If it's in a private cloud environment, then you cannot query the source Zerto or the VC production, so it's not relevant to put here any kind of IP or reference. Then you need to choose which VPG you want to be in this test. Also, we can change the boot order of the VPG. So you got boot order inside each VPG for the VMs, but not between VPGs. If you got few VPGs, you can choose here the boot order that you want to create, because it's very important. If you got a DC on one of the VPGs, you will want it to boot before the other. The last thing on this console that we want to configure on this page, we want to configure is the networking. So you got the networking, the production DR network, where the VMs will fail over on a live scenario, and you got the bubble network that we created. Now, these settings you can do inside the Zerto itself, but over time things may change and you will not know about that. And if you're gonna fail over, your machine will not connect if you change, for example, the networking on the target side. Now EnsureDR will check continuously the targets. When we hit next, we're gonna go to the next screen where we're gonna configure the tests themselves, and also we're gonna choose which VM we want to test. So this screen is got two parts, the left part and the right part. So in the left part, you're gonna choose which test you want to do. The first test is mandatory, you cannot see it, it's a power on test. The second test is networking. The third test is service, you can just put any service you want to test. And the third part is the custom command. Could be a WMI script command, it can be a batch file, a PowerShell file, and also what exactly result you are looking for. We need to tell EnsureDR what to look for in the results. Now this test is mandatory for all the servers. But if you want to do a more advanced test, you can click over here and you can choose for each server what exact test you want it to do. So you can tell him if you wanted to ping to some sort of an IP or host name, test a specific server, or run a specific command for each server. Now, after I finish choose which VM I want to fail over, I can hit here next. And in the third screen, we're gonna set up the mail, and also we're gonna set up the scheduler for the schedule task. On the left side, we're gonna put all the details about the mail. We also can configure what attachment we will send in the mail, how many mails or how many recipients will get the mail, a custom logo inside of it, and things like that. Also on the right side, we're gonna choose which date and time we want to do the failover itself. After I finish the settings, I hit here finish, and then I need to choose if I want to just save the data and then EnsureDR will run on the next time it's gonna do a failover, or the next time the scheduler will run, or just run it now. So what I'm gonna do is run it now. So what EnsureDR will do, it will run right now. It's gonna do a series of tests to see if everything is prepared and ready, and then it's gonna do the failover for the Zerto VPGs. It's gonna test the VMs inside the Zerto. Then it's gonna do a cleanup, create the report, and send it. It's gonna take him something like 12 minutes. So I prepared up front EnsureDR server that already finished the job. So over here we can see the finished screen when EnsureDR finished. We're gonna see this screen only when you run it manually. If you run it in a scheduled manner, you won't see this screen. You're just gonna see an email with a report. So for example, over here we can see it took it 10 minutes out of 35. All 4 VMs are successful. The next scheduled run is in 1 day, and a good state checkpoint that we created, a tag checkpoint inside the Zerto, is created also. So if you do a failover, let's say in about a day, you can go back to our tag checkpoint and see that everything is okay in our side. You can press also on show result, and you can see a more detailed result in HTML format. Let's wait for a second to see it. You can see the same result that we saw on the finished screen. If you scroll down, you can see 2 kind of graph. The left side, you can see the actual test right now, how many are okay or not. The right side is the test result over time. If we scroll down, we can see the list of servers, the result of the test, the power on, the network, the service, and the custom test. Scroll more down, we can see more detailed results and a screenshot of the servers as proof that the server was up and running. If there is a problem like a blue screen, black screen, boot problem, things like that, you're going to see here, and you actually can scroll inside. If I can enlarge it, and you can see actually the actual test and see if there is a problem. You can read it from here directly. Furthermore, we got an email that we got from EnsureDR, the same text and result that we saw in the other messages, and the PDF, the same PDF with the same result that we see. You can scroll down and see the same result as PDF. So from my part, this is the demo. I want to thank you very much, and I will pass it to Uri. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Els. That was very interesting. Thank you very much for all the attendances, guys. Feel free to apply to us over email, over phone, or over our website. Hope you enjoy the webinar, and we will be happy to invite you to the following webinar. Thank you very much, Rob. That was amazing.
Thank you for your partnership. Much appreciated.
Thank you. Have a nice day, everybody. Bye-bye.